What is our own 9/11 now? Because you've mentioned a major turning point in America's terrorism history. What isn't that what the UN bombing is about? Isn't that supposed to be our own 9/11?
Now let me come down to Nigeria. You're talking about the UN bombing of August 26. Prior to that, we had the police headquarters bombing. Because this one didn't so much involve the international community, we tend to underestimate it too. This is the headquarters of the Nigerian police force, and somebody could go there and detonate a bomb. Then it followed the UN bombing. Don't forget, the UN bombing in Nigeria is not the first of its kind. In December 2007, the UN office in Algiers was bombed. Now, what we should ask ourselves is this: why did we not anticipate such things? Why do we have security lapses to allow these things to happen before we start jumping all over the place?
There are various schools of thoughts to that particular statement from him, actually. There are those who put it in different contexts. They say, well, yes, they could have said we were not prepared after the police headquarters bombing for an international target. Because remember, this same group seem to have been split into two, or they're focused into two. One focusing on the local scene, the other raising international attention. So could he have said we were not prepared for the fact that they were going to go for a public international target or as against a local target? It could be in those two guises.
Well, my understanding of what he said is that he was thinking their targets should be local targets because they are fighting the Nigerian state. But they have also said they are fighting against Western interests. And when you,
Western interests?
Exactly.
If truly, Mr. Edechime, let me come in here. If truly they're fighting against Western interests, is it a concern of ours? I'll say this because, well, you're a man who's traveled around. You don't take your arms or ammunition into some of these facilities. So even if you are a member of the State Security Service or the Army or the police, you cannot keep watch over the UN building with your arms. You're not allowed. So how do you safeguard a facility like the UN building where you're not even allowed to take your arms or ammunition? The embassies all around Nigeria, if you're a policeman or a member of the State Security Service, by their own law, you're not allowed to take your arms in there. So shouldn't they have prepared their own security against such, while the police, they do theirs, as you mentioned, with the bombing of the police headquarters?
I understand what you say. The point is, you're saying that it shouldn't be the responsibility of the Nigerian security forces to safeguard the UN facility inside Nigeria.
That's what I'm saying.
It is their responsibility. The internal security inside embassies and inside all these facilities may be their internal affair. But to safeguard the entrance to the building is that of the host state. The host state. Like in the Netherlands, when I went to the International Criminal Court, the government has to make sure that whoever is going there, that they check you, they search you and all that before you actually get to the building. So why do we let somebody to carry a bomb-laden vehicle straight to the premises of the UN building? It is our responsibility. We shouldn't shift it to the UN.
So we should have been out there, maybe outside the gate, to keep a barricade against all of that.
It's not by keeping barricade. You see, if we have, like we have a checkpoint, for instance, rather than do their job, they're there collecting tolls from motorists. If there's intelligence in our security system, they should be able to know that a vehicle like this is coming.
Yeah, but we can't say there's no intelligence, because I mean, all of this, remember that they said in 2007, I think it was 7, he was arrested and later released. So can you say there was no intelligence? I mean, he says, yes, they were caught unawares in this, but look at the legislative aspect of all of this. Now, there's another argument now, that those you arrest cannot actually be tried with the anti-terrorism law. So do we have a legal framework to even attack this problem in the first place?
Well, you see, all these things are actually there in our laws.
Really?
The problem we have is that we like to produce specific laws for specific situations.
Isn't it the way it works?
It is wrong.
And I'm sorry to butt in here. You just ride on after this. And again, it is quite amazing to note that even people from your own field are the ones bringing up this whole argument. Now the SSS, they have in custody some of these people, the alleged bombers of the INEC office in Suleja, the church also in Suleja, and the killing of some policemen. And that was in April, during just close to the elections. And they say the anti-terrorism law bill was just passed into law in June. That you really cannot backtrack and say some kind of retroactive legislation and try those people from lawyers. So you say we have more than enough in our document, the Constitution, to try that.
No, what I'm saying, the Constitution sets up the framework.
Okay,
there are specific laws. You have the criminal code, you have all of that.
Can they be tried on that?
They cannot be tried under a retroactive law.
Under what can they be tried then? Terrorism.
If you go into the body of our laws, you find a specific offense that fits into or nearly fits into what they have done.
Yeah, it's your field. You could give us suggestions to us.
You don't have to wait until something is done, then you start fabricating a law to try it. I mean, there must be, so for something to be a crime.
Why do you have amendments in the Constitution?
Amendments are to suit the developments in society, but those amendments are not meant to take retroactive effect. Whatever you amend, it is from the day of the amendment.
Yeah, but amendments are with a view to correcting certain lapses as the economy evolves, isn't it?
Of course, but it's not meant to be a daily affair.
Nobody's saying it's a daily affair. I'm talking about the challenges that we face from day to day and how you fine-tune your laws to meet up with it. Only yesterday, the American legal framework, they were only saying, listen, this cyber crimes, we can't even tackle it all alone. We have shortcomings in this area. So what's wrong with us admitting, okay, look, we have major challenges, and these are the steps we should take?
No. I'm not saying our laws should not be updated. Our laws should be updated, amended from time to time. But the issue is legally you cannot make a law today.
Yeah, granted.
Under what law can we try these people?
That's
so that because people are worried. If truly they say we cannot try them under the anti-terrorism law.
Under the criminal code.
So under what law can we bring them?
Of course, you know it's arson.
Justice.
It's arson. Even if you don't call it terrorism, it's arson.
Arson?
Yes, arson, yes.
It sounds pretty pedestrian compared to an anti-terrorism.
No. I'm telling you, primarily it is arson. When you destroy public building, property and all that. It's arson. So if you look at the code, the criminal code, you will still find something close to it.
And those policemen that were killed, we can bring them under murder?
Yeah, it's murder if you kill somebody. But in the course of executing an unlawful act.